Hello, my friends. I am your friend Kevin. This is your Divine Daily Blast. And before I go, thank you for all that you will do. I received some lovely gifts yesterday from my gracious blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I think I'm going to start a Patreon, not a Patreon account, but a list of patrons. I might call them spiritual pirates. I think we're a little band of people that are coming from way different angles to come together and bring inspiration, motivation, upbeat, all that good stuff that the world really needs. Now let's get right on to the cards. I'll put the link at the end of this video for anyone that wants to chip in, donate, and help me out. Okay, here we go. We are in angel numerology number 9 day today, which is completion, the end of a cycle, a call to embrace your higher purpose and focus on humanitarianism, spiritual enlightenment, that kind of thing. This is endings and releases. A single digit in numerology that symbolizes the conclusion of a significant chapter, a significant relationship, a significant job, probably a significant belief system in a way. Humanitarianism and service is really strongly emphasized on a number 9 day. If you're seeing a double 9, trust the process. As an old phase in your life is ending, follow your intuition into the next phase that's coming. If it's a triple 9, in the UK means emergency services, this is a major life chapter. Definitely a closing. It's time to release anything and everything that does not serve your higher purpose and your higher cause. If by chance there are 4 9s in a row, like you might go somewhere and see a price tag, $99.99. Ooh, that's massive transformation. Changes are at hand, and you are fully supported by all the divine forces available to move you into this new chapter of your life. Let's move on. A lot going on today. Where should I go next? My isms. I'm grateful for all that I've received. Oh yes. And what is on the way. I'm a world citizen, a universal creator. I come with powerful intent and purpose. Every human being, I think, has the thread of the divine running right down through it. And I think that thread, which I like to call the silver cord, it's a little bit like a cord that runs inside your spinal column, right down through both legs, anchoring you in balance to the Mother Earth and goes way deep down into the crust of the earth. The other end of it is way on up in the cosmos, way beyond the physical chakras, into the other chakras that have just recently been discovered, the stellar gateway. I'm an instrument of love and healing. This I know myself to be. An instrument of love and healing doesn't necessarily mean weak and floppy. Love and healing is what every single human being on the planet wants and sometimes needs, particularly when we have pockets of the world that are in turmoil. Now, the challenge, I think, for most people that are in love and healing is, well, we didn't cause this. We didn't make this happen. We didn't create this turmoil. However, it is a mess. I think sometimes when I'm sweeping, like yesterday, I was sweeping through my home, and I'm thinking, I just did this day before yesterday, and there was still a there was still a dustpan full of dog hair, dust, bits and bobs that came in from the outside. Thinking, how is this possible? Well, clean it up. It's possible. Nobody's situation, home, what have you. People have children. They leave their toys everywhere. We might have partners in our life they may be slow to get up out of bed. And when they get up out of bed, they don't necessarily make it. I wish my Great Danes knew how to make a bed. Oh my goodness, if they did. Can you imagine? I'd have to film it, put it on TV. That would be something. I know they know how to unmake a bed. My big Great Dane, Emma Grace, she's a fawn. She's got a beautiful black mask and her coat is kind of bronze color. She sometimes will be like, I want to get underneath the covers, and she will pull those top covers back and then go lay on the top sheet. Like, this is not really how I envision this to be, but there you go. All right, moving on. Message from Archangel Uriel. Call upon me, the Archangel of Epiphanies and brilliant ideas, when you need spiritual messages, revelations, and magic. Now, look at this color. It's sort of a peachy gold. Whenever you're seeing the Archangel Uriel or the energy of Archangel Uriel, I think there's a misstep that most people want to actually see the angel, the archangel, the image of the archangel that we have been taught that they look like, that this is the effigy of an angel. I went through a period in my spiritual growth where I got a little bit in my head about, well, they're not staying. I don't see an angel at the bottom of my bed. I'm not seeing angels in the yard like most spiritual folks say that claim they do. If they do, they do. But however, I will see things very differently. It can come in the form of a cloud in the sky. It can come at the sunrise or the sunset. It can come when the sun casts a pattern on top of a lake. It can come where the shadows are coming through trees. These are how I see the angels. When I'm looking up and there is a sunburst coming through the clouds and it puts those shards of light, oh, there you go. The heavens are here. This is how I experience angels, archangels, guardian angels. My own personal guardian angels, I actually feel a presence. And the feeling is like an emotional feeling. Warmth, healing, caring, love. It feels like I'm doing it now. I've got both my hands on my chest, just giving me an embrace. This is how we embrace angels. When we feel it, and you probably do, then you call upon Uriel and get the sense of he's wrapping himself around you. And you ask for, what's the spiritual messages I need? Typically, it's encouragement. Sometimes it is, this is a good person to follow and you should learn lessons from them. Sometimes it's a revelation. Sometimes it's magic. See, we told you so. Stop being so afraid. Ask for help when you need it, just like I did yesterday. All right, my friends. The water guardians, let your emotions flow. I should point out with this card today particularly, the moon is moving into the aloof sign of Aquarius. It is making it easier to detach from anyone or anything that might leave you feeling frustrated. Now, there's kind of this conjoinment where Mars is flying into the sign of Pisces. I think I've got that right. If I haven't, I apologize. However, Black Lilith is showing up. And Black Lilith comes in to reveal our, if I say the word sour self, we all have a sour side. The sour side that suppresses, pushes down, pushes against, gets upset, gets annoyed. That needs to be revealed and filtered. In other words, we can't keep shoving down things that we feel is wrong, we've been wrong, all of this. You may find yourself tempted to have an awkward conversation and everything that's coming up behind it wants to flow like a busted dam. Find a way to let it flow. Find a way to get your words out. Find a way to express yourself. but be very careful and cautious that your words, your deeds, your actions do not deliberately, purposefully cause harm, first of all to you, and second of all to somebody else. Sometimes, if you really do have to let it out, if you really are frustrated enough to say, I've had enough of this, you need to go out to the trees, the woods, the earth, the wherever, and scream. Screaming therapy, yelling therapy, shouting therapy is really therapeutic. There's a lot of folks who think it's a little odd, well, because we're not taught to get in the road and scream. However, if you've ever been around a obnoxious toddler who did not get any candy today, and they are stamping their feet, knowing full well they're creating a fuss. They are asking, demanding, wanting attention, and you're not giving it to them. Or you usually do give it to them. That's what letting their emotions flow. So the activation message for today is, I trust my emotions and let them flow with ease. We have them for a reason. Many folks get into journaling. Some friends in the channel paint. They let their emotions flow through art. Some folks, as I just said, write in a journal, write poetry, come up with these isms. Anything and everything to be honest with yourself about your inner emotions. Toth. Been with us all week long. The teacher awakens, the student becomes the master. Ask yourself a personal question. What have you learned this year so far? What has manifested for you that you weren't expecting to manifest? Something you didn't have on your list and it happened anyway. What epiphanies have you had where you really, really focused on prayer, whatever that looked like, and it actually came to pass? These are the things we're talking about. Louise Hay in her diary has, I'm grateful to be alive. It is my joy and pleasure to live another wonderful day. And even if you make that statement whenever you're listening to this, doesn't matter if it's in the evening, you just got home. This is a wonderful day. I am safe and all good things are possible. Or this is a wonderful day. I am safe and I'm welcoming the gifts that come in. All those things, they're all worthy. Now, Temperance is our tarot card today. Interestingly enough, Temperance is a card that is on the front of this book, the Mystic Palette. Now, for some people, it may be the opposite of the Chariot. The Chariot succeeded by barreling through the world on black and white horses, using brute force, strength, all that good stuff. Temperance, we start to use the analytical power of what's right, what's wrong, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, shades of grey, subtle distinctions. It's sort of like making sure everybody and everything comes into a sense of balance. So the keyword meanings for you to go with today is be careful. Combine the different elements, ingredients, forms, subtleties of your life to create a harmonious whole. I learned to teach yoga, and while students are on the mat, they're seeing me as one person, but I'm seeing them as several. And we were always taught to put in what's missing. Well, a lot of times we don't know what's missing in somebody's life. We don't know where they need to either do a little bit more or back off a little bit, where they need to go a bit further or stop. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense to you. You are the master of your tapestry, your masterpiece, your life, your journey. Temperance is a little bit like, where do I need to be more assertive? And where do I need to be more compassionate? Where do I need to be more discerning? Do I trust, not trust? Is this a good person, not a good person? Where do I need to hold back? This is what Temperance is talking about. Calibrating the measurements of how we act, how we proceed, what we do. It's coming to a whole conclusion, but based on all of the elements, emotional, physical, environmental, all of these things. There will be areas when you begin to look at it under an emotional microscope, looking at all of your letting them flow, where you can see the pockets, that's what's missing. Where you can see where I need to be kinder to myself. Where you can see I need to stop eating so much chocolate. That kind of stuff. I'm using these examples a little extreme, but you know what I'm saying? Which goes along with our number 9 day. Evaluating the cycle that's just ended so that we don't repeat the pattern. And in my own life, oh yeah, my patterns repeat over and over. Here I go again. What am I doing this for? Because I got goosebumps. I know my guardian angels are saying, oh yeah, you're about to have another breakthrough. Goosebumps down my back means that there's a presence of spirit, or I'm going to get an epiphany. And the repeat patterns do two things. One, shows us how far we've come since the last time it happened. Two, shows us that we're not in the same situation with the same people doing the same thing. We just got a pattern that says we can either do something the same way or choose a different way. And usually choosing a different way is what we need to do. If we don't, we do the same thing over again, guess what happens? There's a little bit of that madness. So just be present to yourself, what you feel, what you think, what you believe, what you're trusting, and let the cycle move on through to the next cycle. Fairies, fairies everywhere. Thank you. Here we go. There's our card. Energy. Ooh. The Fairy King is allowing the energy to come through the crown of his head into the light of his hands. In other words, you get the thoughts that come in, you turn those energies into positive actions, and the hands make the light work. You're just following through. I am guided to do. I'm guided to use this energy for the highest good of all. I'm guided to use this energy to ground myself, whatever that means to you. It's like I don't know how to. Physical, mental, power, healthy eating, healthy thought, getting plenty of rest, calling in the universe when you need it, making sure that there is a balance. So you get it. The fairies are saying balance, temperance, these two. All right, my friends, here's the links for you if you haven't already. There you go. That's my Venmo account. For any of you who want to give me a cup of coffee or a little bit of a blessing. And then here is the QR code. You can plump your cell phone up to the screen. And I am truly, truly grateful. It's not, I mean, you're not obligated to do it for sure, but I would be grateful for any help that you can give. That's it. Done. Until tomorrow, I love you. I wish you blessings of abundance, of prosperity, of all of those things. Bye for now.